I've been a doctor for 15 years, and there's a sound I'll never get used to. The death rattle. That wet, gurgling rasp like water trapped in cracked glass. It's not just a sound, it's a presence, a creeping finality that clings to the air. You feel it in your chest, as though it's pulling the breath from you too. The first time I heard it, I was a new intern, standing at the bedside of a woman in her 70s. Cancer was taking her, and I could do nothing but watch as her breathing turned shallow, her chest rising and falling with that dreadful bubbling noise. I'll never forget the way her eyes locked on mine in those final moments. She mouthed something, just a whisper of sound lost beneath the rattle. I leaned in close, but I couldn't make out the words. Now it's a sound I hear too often. It's part of the job, they say. You get used to it, they say. But lately, I've realized something. I don't think the death rattle is just a sound. Last week, it happened again. A man in his 40s, pneumonia had ravaged his lungs. His family stood at his bedside, weeping, as his breathing slowed. I stayed behind after they left, sitting alone in the room, finishing my notes. That's when I heard it, the rattle, but his chest wasn't moving anymore. I froze, pen slipping from my hand. It wasn't possible, yet there it was, faint but unmistakable, like a ghostly gasp rising from his still form. I told myself it was stress, fatigue, but that night I heard it again. In the silence of my car, driving home. In my bedroom as I lay in the dark. It's been following me ever since. In the hospital hallways, in empty patient rooms, even in my office. Just now, as I sit here writing this, I hear it again. Louder this time, wet and ragged, as though someone is struggling to breathe through water. I glance at the walls, my skin crawling. It's closer now, right behind me,